Milk, shut the fuck up. No one cares.
I feel like you're underrating. Who cares? Okay, merchandise, 100 Thieves merchandise. I'll kiss his ass if he gives me freebies.
So we're going back to Lifestealer, and so far this is looking. I mean, the Phoenix and Snapfire, they kind of have to be the. I mean, the combination of Phoenix, Snapfire, Darkseer, there has to be a combination of 3 of 4 here, most likely. And I think that Lifestealer is going to do really well against any of these lanes. I think this is going to be a very easy Lifestealer game. And so I'm looking for them to apply a lot of pressure on this next pick here onto primarily the Lifestealer here. I think the 4 Zoomers lineup so far is very single target based. And you need to take advantage of this.
So
maybe something along the lines of, I don't know, Terrorblade. I think Phantom Lancer does not seem like a very good hero nowadays, but Terrorblade, Naga Siren, maybe slightly faster. Something that kind of takes advantage of these heroes to some extent.
is TB like a little bit too slow against this lineup though? Like you're worried maybe he gets pressured a bit too hard by the Ench as well.
Potentially, the one thing is that the 4 Zoomers, they can't push the lanes, and so you can kind of play a little bit slower game if you're confident in your own abilities. I feel like you're able to play a slower game. Not necessarily sure that that's where pace are right now, in like coming from the last game, but I would like, okay.
Dude, I can hear it going at you. Like the enthusiasm going, okay, yep. They just yep, just don't listen to me. User has left the channel.
Yeah, they picked Drow Ranger. Let's see where this goes.
I mean, they have layers to protect though, right? Like it's not the worst Drow draft so far. Like you've got this Phoenix and this Darkseer that will make it hard for 4 Zoomers to just jump on top of you.
I think generally when you pick a hero like Drow, you want to have heroes that disable the team from running at you. And right now, I don't see this. Phoenix, Darkseer, Snapfire, they don't kind of prohibit enemy heroes from attacking you the same way, like, let's say a Treant, for example, right? You can pierce magic immunity and you can stop heroes from running at you. It's also a strong lane. Not to say that Snapfire, I think Phoenix Drow is a fairly weak lane. I think Snapfire Drow can be quite a strong lane, and you can pressure quite a lot of safe lanes with this combination. But I do think that you don't have any ways of stopping the enemies from running at you. And this is, to me at least, a little bit worrisome.
All right, hear me out, Pycat. Pace. They say Drow is all we need in the world. This won't backfire having one person who has to succeed. Pick Trin as your final hero. Phoenix Egg, Overgrowth, Vacuum, Mortimer's Kisses, throw freaking everything at 4 Zoomers, and we'll see if they're running fast when they're dead.
Nah. Okay, so the combination is Darkseer, Earthshaker, Tidehunter, Lich, right? And you use Vacuum, Echo Slam, Ravage, Chain Frost, and the enemies, they just don't use any spell. They're also clumped up into one for some reason.
Okay.
Right? And they also don't use any spells. And this is the perfect game of Dota.
All right, so here's the problem, Pycat. You just described the most beautiful bolognese to me, right? You've used like freshly crafted ragu. You know, you got the finest like pork mince. And
you have some
basil.
Oregano.
Sprinkle the oregano,
pepper.
garlic. Yeah. The problem with that is I don't have that budget. Look at what I got in front of me right now, Pycat. I can afford like supermarket's own brand, ready-made ragu sauce, and 20% fat beef.
And you're also versing a Lifestealer
who loves beef.
He likes beef, definitely. I think let's see kind of where these last picks are going. I think 4 Zoomers are still somewhat-ish single target territory. I think Beastmaster generally dissuades a hero like a Broodmother I wouldn't expect them to. Looking at the performance of the Broodmother last game, I think this was not very impressive. I think I would expect more from a Broodmother player if you wanted as a last pick.
Oh
And we do
no,
see
not
the
the
Pace have
abusive
the last
coach
pick
again.
again. No, it's not about abusive coach. I think it's just about having a somewhat well-rounded lineup. I'm looking for Pace to have some sort of hero that either goes into the fight, takes some sort of pressure away from the Drow, because what the Drow wants to do is just output damage. I just want a hero that allows Drow to deal damage, or that either a hero that just has so much damage that Drow does not have to be necessarily the focal point of the draft.
Does this feel like a decent Viper game for pace?
No.
I tried. I was thinking maybe someone with like DP, maybe someone that gives them push as well. But like I feel maybe Death Prophet's a little bit too. Oh, there we go. I was gonna say
Yeah.
maybe she's a little bit too exposed.
I mean, to my eyes, at least, Death Prophet looks a little bit exposed. I'm not necessarily sure that. Yeah, they picked Death Prophet. I'm not entirely convinced. I think I think Monkey King has a fairly okay-ish lane. I think Death Prophet wants to come close with the suck, and Monkey kind of also wants to trade with the Jingo Mastery into Bound Strike. I think the lane should be okay for Gunner, for Monkey King. And I just fear that the Straw Ranger is left alone. I do enjoy very much so. I think the Darkseer against Beastmaster lineup has always been the matchup has always been quite nice for the Darkseer. Just you push lanes out. The Beastmaster, the idea of the hero is that you want to be able to push lanes and you want to use the vision of the Hawk. Whereas the Darkseer, you also push lanes at a much easier way than the Beastmaster because you don't have to be there, and it also allows you to steal the auras from the Beastmaster. So there is this counter towards the Beastmaster, and it could favor Pace in that sense. I just fear for the fact that they have Drow Ranger and Death Prophet, and neither of these heroes have saves. There's no saving grace for these two heroes.
Jesus, you're getting depressed on me again. All right, that's it. Put Mount back on the mic.
I'm not. What do you mean?
I mean,
I'm
you
trying to
started
kind of.
off positive, and then you're like, well, I still feel like I'm a Four Zoomers fanboy. I'm getting a tattoo of Sammy Boy on my back tomorrow.
I'm just trying to give the lineups a fair kind of point of view. I favor the Four Zoomers lineup. I don't think it's an amazing lineup. And like there's double silences, right? I could see the lifesteal go for something like a Manta style PKB in this type of game, because there's nothing to break either one. There's only silences, and he should be able to allow to cast rage through either one of those.
Can we just highlight that part in the chat? We have all you all muted. Go whenever. Holy crap! Imagine you are these uni students, right? Sammy Boy is your hero. Monkeys Forever is your hero, and you're like, I just want them to appreciate and acknowledge me, and then you just find out, oh, they nope, they're not even acknowledging us. We're muted. They don't know we exist.
I think if Death Prophet does well in the lane, I think she could kind of run away and pressure to some extent.
You did your best.
I just think that this is kind of a cool Clockwork game, and I don't enjoy seeing. I mean, if I'm a Pace fan, I don't enjoy seeing a Clockwork pick looking this kind of
Juicy.
potent. Yeah, when it's picked, in that stage, I think that your heroes should not be that susceptible to Drow at this point, and Drow should not be susceptible to a hero like this, and same with Death Prophet.
It's the layers upon initiation that can just be piled on top of the drow as well, right? Like, it's not like, it's just the clockwork that can initiate. Right, the Monkey King can reach the back lines by hopping through the trees. You're going to have that vision advantage courtesy of the Beastmaster as well. Like, it's not as if clockwork goes in, basically, and there's no follow-up, is what I'm getting
Let's
at.
see here. It is gonna be a Drow and Snapfire lane, and I don't think this lane is weak. I think what you need to do in this lane is you need to deal with the boar of the Beastmaster. If you can successfully deal with the boar, kind of, I think then you can apply some pressure onto this lane. There's gonna be I'm assuming this is a 5-position clockwork.
I think it's the 4 and Ench is 5. Yeah, Husky plays 5.
You did your bad.
He's just done that
Yeah,
thing we
I'm
all
not.
do when we're core players and we play support and we like stats.
No, I'm just not entirely sure about the idea of the Zoomers, where they're placing the supports. I think the combination generally, they want the Enchantress against the Darkseer, so that they can kind of enchant the creep and just leave the Darkseer without Iron Shell targets, because you can remove the Iron Shell, right, with the
Yeah.
enchant, and that's probably their idea. And you can see already in this lane, the Enchantress is kind of bullying both of these two heroes. Nate should be allowed to go just back to the creep wave. The lane is going to be pushing, but Nate should be having a very, very nice time here. The mid lane, it's Monkey King starting with boots, and I think he ferried out a Quitting Blade, and he's getting now the tangos. And so I think they should be very happy in these two lanes. I think the top lane is where Pace should be doing well. I think the Clockwork, he's supposed to pull creeps in this wave and kind of offset the balance, get the Beastmaster to level 3 potentially, where you get the little bit stronger boar and you can kind of harass and go into trades.
Yeah, you're already seeing like if he stays on the lane, it's not too effective, and it looks like he's going to miss the pull through as well.
Don't be mad.
I think the interesting one is just going to be the bot lane. Like you already highlighted with this Ench, it's just kind of ridiculous. 5 armor hero who can get rid of most of your damage source up against a hero who has no armor really to work with on that Phoenix, as you're now learning. As you
We
guys
already see here that this is going to be the first blood for the Nace. He's at 6 and 6 last hit. Darkseer is setting at 1-0, not having good time. Nace is very happy in this lane. Once again, are going to be going for the Midas. Sammy Boy going for this Life Stealer. What does that say about Sammy Boy, you might ask? Yeah.
is that he likes to hit creeps and get money.
Let's give Sammy Boy the Life Stealer, you know?
I mean, I feel like right now, if I'm Pace, what lane am I worried about most? Is it the mid lane is going badly? Because Gunner is kind of a certain dominance. 7 denies already.
I think you need to be doing well in your safe lane in this game.
The logic of Drow, like solitaping everything together, right? Like, our Lord and Savior has lies. Sounded kind of dark and poetic. Level 2 ball, but looks like they're able to get away with the cookie. And Ocean has to kind of commit to make sure the trade's worthwhile.
Yeah, I think Drow has to be he has to be man enough to man up in that scenario, and just realize that he can actually hit the clockwork with the Snapfire. And we're gonna see already a 1k lead at the 3-minute mark for Zoomers here.
I guess maybe the big concern is that not only is Zoomers getting this early lead, but when you look at Pace's heroes, well, actually, this might work well. Sammy Boy.
Sammy Boy in trouble.
Ooh. No, he gets away. He's got the very far. So the thing is this lane though, right? Like Darkseer usually pick this hero because he's able to kind of bring your lineup together with the aura builds. He's able to kind of give you that mid-game tempo. And you're going to need that with a Death Prophet in your lineup, right? Like otherwise, your protection is fairly limited. Like if she goes in, she gets caught by stun, she's dead.
Yeah, I'm just looking at the lanes right now, and I think the pressure coming out of the Pace lineup right now, the way that they're playing the lanes is not sufficient. We're gonna have sort of a dive here in the mid lane. I'm not going to commit.
So what part of it is not sufficient? Is it the part where the Phoenix is dying bot, or the DP's getting nothing mid, or the Clockwork's not really getting punished top?
And you're calling me. You're calling out me, and you're saying like, why are you so negative? Why are you being so negative? You're calling me out on this, and then you're giving me this to work with. What is this, huh?
You know what? You know I say like the casters should be able to kind of be on the same wavelength. You know, just have this sync up feeling. I just I want to ride that wave. Okay. That wave of unity that we hope that Pace can find to get themselves to a game 3 here.
Yeah, I feel like you're
What was that? Yeah.
so foolish. You're so full of it right now. I don't even know where to begin.
You made like that? Yeah. Like, oh yeah. Now who's got the doubt?
I do think that if Pace managed to, if the Drow gets to some levels, and she gets enough damage, I think that the team fight, what Pace has to do is they have to commit to team fights. I don't think that their egg is gonna be ever able to kind of go off, but I do think that the Phoenix has to commit to the fact that there's gonna be team fights where the Darkseer goes in and he can use his vacuum wall, and Phoenix has to kind of commit to the fact that the egg is gonna die to Beastmaster and Nakes. The egg is not gonna happen. I mean, it's very unlikely unless the positioning is completely perfect or Forsuma is just very much so messed up. But I do think that you can commit to these team fights if you send in the right heroes at the right time, and you can kind of come out ahead on these team fights if you play them well enough. The laning stage, obviously not favoring them at all, but I do think that team fights, they could come out ahead if they play them very well.
Don't be mad.
And in that regard, like they're kind of hemorrhaging deaths, right? Like they had those 2 quick deaths early on. Phoenix hasn't really hemorrhaged anymore since. And top, like you saw this 2 versus 1 situation where they couldn't really get. Oh, okay, I spoke too soon. Lies. Nah, it's gonna get out. They trapped.
To be honest, I think the Phoenix being down, and my cat is.
Sorry, the Phoenix is being down, but don't worry, there's a cat to verse by cat.
My cat is trying to turn off my computer.
Oh, I've been there. So when I was getting started as a caster, as we're gonna like cast this death top lane, Dino's side is a different kind of side now. Double kill for monkeys. So
back in my day.
Let me just crack my pipe open. Like honestly, I know this one's gonna put people to sleep. So let me just crack open an energy drink for them.
Back in my day, mate. Back in my day. All right.
All right.
Listen, you see these dogs here? He's just going off, yeah.
Nah,
He's
so
going off the handles.
All right, you're popping it off in the wrong way. So hear me out. Back in my day, when I've had a little bubble around the cast community, I'd have a little chit chat, trying to go for a little bit of this, a little bit of that. As they're going.
I feel like it's unfair that you don't have to do an accent when you're speaking with this.
I mean, I can't do because there's a pretty big difference. There's a pretty big difference. We don't all sound the same, Cat. Jesus. Can't just categorize. Have you heard people from Liverpool? All right, so.
Yeah, I actually have. Newcastle and Liverpool, they're terrible.
All right, not so terrible pace. They're actually making some plays because the mid lane, they just got killed and they're pressuring tower. And afterwards, I will tell my great story. But before that happens, everyone is just dying. Monkeys forever. Oh, whoa, Eggston just got juked out. All right, you can just go in and slap him right now. Do it, monkeys. Do it. There you go, Jared. Yeah, give him the fists. Double kill for Ocean.
He kicked him in the face.
He did. Did that ever throw you off when you get like the mixed animations? Like, what was it? It's with the new Wraith King skin. You do the kick sometimes.
I mean, honestly, as a safe laner, laning against Beastmaster, if I do not have a THD or I don't know, some guy who kills the boar on my team,
he's just like, GG, I'm going jungle.
Oh my god, I don't want to be that guy. I do not want to play that safe lane. I've had that discussion with many a 5-position players on my team, and if you cannot deal with a boar.
Why are you here?
You cannot deal with the boar, you know?
Yeah, just leave.
You don't want to play the game. And we can see that here, that there's this block. He's putting a lot of pressure. They don't have enough damage to kind of deal with this boar right now, the way the lane went. I'm not necessarily sure that this is the way the lane is supposed to go, but it did go this way. And it does look a little bit sketchy. They have this, the DP though. DP is doing quite well, I think. And she has the Arcane Rune, and with Arcane Rune, waiting for maybe Exorcism to be online, and making some sort of rotation towards. I don't think you should make a rotation toward the Lifestealer. I think he can just port out with the Rage into TP, but a rotation towards the enemy off lane could make something happen here.
Yeah, and then maybe you convert it into some tower pressure. But,
yeah, the unfortunate thing is that the Hawk is spotting the DP, and so it makes it very difficult for her to rotate.
So basically, what's gonna happen is the SI is gonna go down because he wants to interrupt my storytelling, as he will be pummeled to death. Boop. So yeah, when I was starting out, so the cat stories, this is a good one. So I was starting out, I was early in my casting days, and BTS were like reviewing me, as in they were like watching me cast something else, because they want like they were interested in working with me. It's cool. And I didn't realize that they were watching on the day when my cat decided to assist production. So I'm just casting. I'm just there casually. And my cat's really timid. She likes to hop around. She gets curious. And she's like, why is this man chatting so much these days? She hops up onto the PC, hits the off button. And I think, like, I've just screwed the whole production. So all you hear, because I'm a sad person that has to make everything dirt related. My cat's called Marana. All you hear is
come
me
on, man.
scream,
Not a Dota
Marana,
related cat.
no! In the middle of a cast. And
No.
everyone's like, I checked the chat afterwards. Everyone's like, what Marana? There's no Marana in this game. Because luckily, it didn't stop the stream. It like shut everything but Dota and OBS.
You can't have a Dota named cat, man.
Why?
Come on. Don't. No.
Why you gotta be like that? I got 2.
No. I have. Man, okay, so. While the game is going on, while 4 Zoomers are taking this mid tower, being up 4K at 11 minutes, I'm gonna tell the story of how I have this little like a little box on top of the off button on my computer, because I have the one cat who jumps up onto my computer, and every single time for like the first 4 months she'd turn off my computer.
like she had made a habit of it, is what you're getting at.
I mean,
like,
to be
she was
fair,
doing it on purpose.
honestly, to be fair, this is mainly on me, honestly. I mean, the way it comes across is, how am I stupid enough to let my cat turn off my computer for 4 months? I feel like this is way more on me than anything else.
I mean, sure, like I had it once
Whatever.
and then I adjusted.
Whatever.
Jesus. I mean, I think right now Pace is saying more about this game. Good lord. Nowhere is safe, nowhere is sacred. You said it at the start of the draft, like, both teams are going to play fast regardless. It's almost like Zoomers have somewhere to be. And the only place that Pace can be, if they can even get there, is their own farm. Useless.
Yeah, I think at this point you're just very, very far behind. The Clockwork is high level than your Drow Ranger, and it's just a very difficult game to play when you're kind of forced into this, you're forced into sort of a little box, and you can't get out on the lanes. The way this Pace lineup wants to play is, they want to do at least okay in the lane. They don't have to win the lanes, but
Don't be mad.
they want to do okay-ish, and I think the DP is maybe, we're gonna see if this is somewhat of a saving grace. I think we're gonna see if it's enough, but
He's trying.
the DP has to do so much this game, and
By so much, you don't mean die, right?
no,
Nah.
ideally not die, obviously.
Jesus, look at Ocean go. He's like, oh, I know where these kisses are coming from. And they'll kiss farewell to the Phoenix as well. Won't even get the kill on the Clockwork.
I think the idea of the Pace lineup is, I want to say it's once again somewhat flawed. The idea of, at least to my knowledge, this Drow Ranger hero has been that this is a hero that can deal such a high amount of damage that you can kind of, I wouldn't say that you can solidly rely on a Drow Ranger to deal all the damage, but it's a hero that lets you output so much damage. And the laning phase is also quite strong, combined with the right hero in the safe lane. But this is a hero that needs a lot of heroes in front to be able to kind of tank the damage. But what I'm seeing right now is that there's a Darkseer and a Phoenix lane, and to me, at least, this doesn't make so much sense. The Phoenix can fly on top of heroes with the spirits, but on top of a hero like Nake's Lifestealer, you can't do this, right? You just have the rage, and you rage it off, and you can turn on the Phoenix. And like on most heroes, like Bar, Juggernaut, and Lifestealer, like if you're going to go for this lineup, I feel like you pick this. You pick your Phoenix as a 1 and your Darkseer as your 4th, right? There's the 2-3 from 4 Zoomers, and then you ban out these 2 heroes, so that in the laning stage you can have a very strong presence. With the Phoenix and the Darkseer, you can pressure. I don't necessarily think that it's the strongest lane by any means, but at least that could be an idea, that you can pressure heroes in the lane by making them unable to fight your shells, and you can pressure with shell and the spirits. But giving them an opportunity to pick Lifestealer or Juggernaut after going for this 4-3. I think this is asking for having a very tough early game, and I feel like you need to have at least one, if not two, or 1.5 lanes that do well, so that you can kind of. I mean, to me, it has always been.
Ooh. Okay. Ocean going in. Star's going to be found out. Primal through. Darks is going to be brought down as well. Sorry to interrupt you, but the big fight is going down. This is actually going to force Pace to the edge of the seat as they do commit into the buybacks. The X is going to be brought down already. They're actually going to get killed the Monkey King in the meantime. On the high ground, they're able to find another one as they chase down and kill off the Enchantress. The Aegis has been taken away, and Pace finally able to bite back. They do lose 2 heroes still after those buybacks come in, and Sammy Boy comes back into a big fat mess. Needs some assistance to get out of here, but it looks like he's going to go down as well. Ocean will be able to TP away, and finally, Forzuma's aggression is somewhat checked.
Yeah, and they actually have some team fight, and I think this is a little bit maybe on Forzuma's this engagement. They are getting a little bit overzealous. I'm not sure if this Monkey King, the build here, it's going to be E-Blade straight up. I'm not sure if this is if this is the most, what should I call it?
Optimal use of your money?
Optimal use of your money is a very good way of putting it here.
I like
I
to
think
innovate. We always use the avatar. Or set,
I think that the Pace lineup, it doesn't have to be weak in team fights, right? They just need to protect the Drow Ranger so that you can deal damage, and maybe protect the egg with something, right? And maybe if the Clockwork helps protect you by using cogs around the egg, that could be something.
I feel like right now, like, you're in a situation where if you had a level 2 egg, you could do things as Pace, but because you do not have a level 2 egg, it's never a threat in these fights for Zoomers. It's just an afterthought. It's like, oh, there's an egg. I mean, we just go click it. It doesn't matter how far away from the fight it is. We'll click it. Because, yeah, you took that good fight behind your tier 2, but that did require buybacks that next time that happens probably won't be there.
Yeah, you're looking at the network graph. The Lifestealer is up almost 4,000 gold on the Drow Ranger, and it makes it so that it's very difficult for this Drow to, you have to build so many defensive items at this point as Drow. You need Manta Style to get out of Rage, potentially, open wounds, enchant, and some other spells, and you also need the Pike to get out of danger from a lot of these heroes.
I feel like this is one of those meaningful Peter moments, where it's like you're just, as a Drow, you're just screaming for everyone to protect you, everyone to enable you, but I'm not sure if it's easy enough. Monkeys forever, however, that could be a good kill. He throws out the Primal Roar, looks to move away. He's healing up a decent amount, but will be brought down, even though he has got the Infest inside him. Sammy Boy comes down, thinks about fighting, but maybe thinks twice, but Gunnar now throws down that Wukong's command, zones them away, looks to get rid of the egg, but they've already lost a second, as they will lose their Enchantress as well, and Gunnar, he's retreating way too late in this. He's going to be turned around. When they do get the egg off, they manage to kill 4 at the price of 2. And they're not done, they're hunting forward.
I really like the fact that the Pace are fighting like this, and this is what I was just trying to kind of touch upon early on in the game, where I think that Pace have to commit really heavily into these fights. They need to send in the Darkseer and the DP. They're going to lose heroes in order to win these fights. You cannot get away scot-free, right? You can't go into these fights expecting to go 5-0. Yeah, your Darkseer is gonna die. Maybe in this scenario, the Phoenix actually managed to survive just because they realized they can't commit to the egg. If they do, they're gonna die. If they don't, they're gonna die. And this is where you need to be playing as Pace, right? You need to be sending the DP who's a little bit tanky, the Darkseer who's a little bit tanky in, and the Snapfire can kind of help these heroes, and Drows are sitting in the back dealing damage. This is how you need to commit to these fights. And I also think this was slightly overzealous maybe from the Zoomers, but I think this is at least an intelligent way of fighting if you are Pace.
Well, I mean, Parent is part of their strategy. They're like, okay, we die, we instantly come back, and we murder you. They can only get one, they don't get the big one in the stars. But I feel like the way you just described Pace is like they're all playing techies. Right? It's like, yeah, they'll overcommit. Because Techie's that type of hero that tilts people. They commit for him and it backfires quickly, right? Like, it's that style where instead of it being individuality, which, I mean, like, this sounds like something obvious from a pro team's perspective, right? Is instead of being about your individual, performance, it has to be about the team collective, right? It's this kind of everyone's individual value doesn't matter. It's the cumulative value of the cause.
Yeah, it doesn't even have to be like Tiggy's. That I mean, I think essentially this lineup is somewhat built around the Drow Ranger, right? The Drow Ranger is the main source of damage. To some extent, the DP at this point, I think, is the main source of damage. To be fair,
But there's got to be a
it's
pass
also a
over,
tank.
Like,
Yeah,
yes.
they're sort of like DP has to do some tanking a little bit, and Drow Ranger has to just deal damage and throw out silences. And this fight they managed to hold.
And Darkseid just has to waste a crap ton of time. They did interrupt his TP out attempt. It looks like Aegster is able to get away successfully, but this is just time for pressure alleviated from the other side of the map. Probably not for long, though, because they're already moving back into your jungle. Sammy Boy never left. He's happy as lamb in this wonderful little area full of ancients.
Yeah, and he's also building towards the BKB on Lifestealer. He went for the Midas into Armlet Deso, and I think going for BKB at this point, I think it's a nice choice. I could have seen Manta Style, could have been fine. You're obviously not going to rely as much on your BKB going low, but at this point, all you really care about is you're able to use BKB through the silence, right? The only thing they have to stop this Lifestealer is these two silences from the DP and from the Dry Ranger. And if you can BKB through one and get your Rage through the next one, you're always going to have at least this, even if the BKB goes low, you're going to have at least 11 seconds of kind of, you can't fight the Lifestealer. And I think if your pace, fighting like this is very, very difficult. You need to be able to have enough damage to attack this Lifestealer, even through the Rage. And they're not at that point yet.
Also, it feels like this is just going to prioritize the egg being good even more. Like, because now, with all that magic immunity, the only way you can actually deal with life, the way you lock him down, do anything at all, is going to be this Phoenix. He has at least got the level 2 egg now, so it is a bit harder to beat into. I mean, I'm just looking at Zoomers, and this is also why Beastmaster feels so good against Phoenix-focused lineups, right? Is everyone gets this attack speed. Everyone is able to become the Egg Slayer. Or maybe you just slay the Death Prophet. They decide they're happy with the kisses being forced out, though. They're just going to move away, as there are a lot of heroes from Pace in the neighborhood. They might re-engage now, though. They ping it out. Like, Drow is hanging a bit far forward. And Sammy Boy does hit hard. But no dice.
Are gonna have Gunner. He's trying to connect to this fight.
Slowly but surely. He has got his D-Blade at the ready.
I think if you're 4 Zoomers, you kind of just take control of the map, and you don't need to play it. You don't need to rush this. You just chill. Yes, I do think that at some point in this game, if Phoenix gets to the point of Shiva's Guard and 18, I think this game should be very difficult for Zoomers, unless FaZe play it incorrectly. I think they should be in a happy position. The Phoenix Egg should be kind of the team fight.
Oh.
End all be all.
Well, this might be the end all be all. If they don't find anything with this exorcism, things could backfire quickly. In Pace, they're chasing forward, but it's just feeling like a complete waste. Sammy Boy's lingering around, looking for an easy pick. And they're looking the wrong way. They're going to try for the wrap round now, Stars. Let's get the Silence down to 2. It's moving away by the Monkey King. They've already got rid of Dino's side on the back line as Sammy Boy did go in. He'll turn around on Italiano Gangster now. The promo are out to ensure the Darks is brought down. Double kill for the Lifestealer. And the Balance Strike comes out. Stars now in trouble. As the exorcism ends, so too will his life. You know what that kind of felt like, Pycat? Like, I don't think it was a mispress the button, but you know that moment where, like, you have it in a game where you do something that you really shouldn't have, and then you feel the need to justify it? I think that's what we just witnessed.
Yeah, it's the case of the buyback where you're like, guys, we have to do something.
We got to get value out of this. I bought back the money exchange. And, I mean, looks like they might hold for the moment, courtesy the kisses coming out from Mortimer and Snapfire. For how long?
I think the team fight of Pace should be superior in a lot of scenarios still, regardless of the net worth deficit. I think that they should be able to team fight okay-ish, assuming that they are allowed to keep the Drow and the Death Prophet in a position where they can deal damage. I think they can still come out on top, even despite the 7K net worth at 25 minutes, which is, you know, it's ridiculous, right? It's way too high a net worth deficit at this moment, but they should still be allowed to kind of keep an okay-ish team fight. I just don't think that for Zoomers with correct play, they should not be allowing this. They should not allow those team fights. This is also going to be the second Roche. It's going to be the Aegis on the Lifestealer with now the BKB infested into the Beastmaster with the Blink Dagger, Necrobook coming off in 15 seconds. I assume them to kind of just push the lane. We're going to see Port of Work just, I think he whiffed the
He's baiting him. It's clearly a bait because look who came out to check. Stars brought down in the beat of an eye, and he had the Arcane Runes, so that hookshot cooldown is going to be long. He'll be ready to go in under 20 seconds.
Yeah, and yeah, they do get the kill. I think there was a slight mistake by the Lifestealer to kind of jump out there. He wasn't really needed to kill the Prophet. You could have kept the surprise if they don't pick the Beastmaster, but doesn't matter too much.
He wanted his participation ribbon, courtesy of another assist, and now they have access to the base. Should be at least one lane. Might be more movement in on the Italian gangster, and he's gone. Gunner showing off his E-Blade Dagon build, as all Monkey Kings do. And Phoenix, cool. You Meteor Hammered. Kisses follow up though. Pull stuff out. The problem is you bought back on stars, and Sammy Boy doesn't give a crap. He says hello, goodbye, come back again. Cookie to throw out stars. We'll turn around trying to chase in. I think we're about to witness an instant action replay, as the exorcism from earlier has been completed again by stars. And I wonder what he's going to do with it. It looks like he's running out of the base by Cat and dying. And that might just be the final nail in the coffin. The GG gets schooled. It is a 2-0. Pace. They tried. Execution maybe a little bit lacking. I feel like they had some ideas, but getting there was the problem. And for Zoomers, I mean, they ensure that we have a quick start